Hello, everybody. I hope you had a really nice long weekend. Today we're going to be talking about what we're doing for the rest of the school year. It's a little different, so it's really good to kind of check this out. To start with, I have a calendar for what we're doing, so we'll just go through it step by step. So first, this week, week 7, is May 26th to the 29th. Because of Memorial Day, it's only 4 days long. Then we have week 8, June 1st to the 5th, and then the final week, which it's actually a week and a half from June 8th to the 17th. That's going to be our makeup/revisions on projects, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So first, you now have 2 different options for your projects for each of these weeks. So the first one is you're going to choose one prompt that you haven't completed yet from all of the previous prompts. So in this PowerPoint is every option that you've had to date. So you'll choose one of those, and you do it for week 7. And then you choose a different one for week 8. So you should not be doing the same prompt that you already did before unless you have an idea to take it in a very different direction. So most of you should be doing different ones. So that would be the first option for each week. The second option is to design your own larger 2-week project. So some of you seem more interested in doing something a little longer term, something that's really challenging for you. Let's say you wanted to focus on self-portrait. Or you had an idea for an art piece that is a little more complicated. Or it might have been a prompt that you tried already and you'd like to go back and do a couple iterations, do some more work with that one material. So if you do want to do a larger 2-week project, the first week you should be submitting to me some thumbnail sketches, so smaller ideas about what you want to do, kind of figuring out how it will look. So if it's a self-portrait, are you going to be in the center? Are you going to be smiling? Are you going to be off to the side? Are you going to be big? Or are you going to be small? So all of those choices you can kind of figure out through thumbnail sketches. You should be describing your project. So this is the written part, telling me what you want to do, what materials you're going to use, why you're doing this project, what the idea is. And you'll show an image of the beginnings of the larger project. So you should be starting it during this first week, even if it's just very basic and beginning. The next week, you have that option to do the one prompt if you want to, like we've done in the past, or if you're doing option 2, you would complete work on the larger 2-week project. So this is where you'd submit your final images of the piece. If you had process images you wanted to send, you could too. And this is where you'd reflect on the whole work. So think about some of those reflection questions we had at the beginning. What do you think of the final piece? What was a struggle for you? What did you not expect? Things like that, and you'd answer that for week 2. The last week and a half, this is where if you had any grades that you weren't happy with, or maybe you missed an assignment, you can go back and redo any of those assignments or submit what you haven't turned in yet for credit. So that's kind of your last chance to kind of catch up. It also, if your 2-week project is it's taking you a little longer, you could work on it during that final week as well. So I'm not taking off late points for anything that's turned in late. All right, so let's just go through some things quickly. The first slide here, or the second slide I'm showing you, it just explains that design your own project. Okay, so this is where you would do a 2-week assignment, greater depth, greater detail. You're really looking to challenge yourself. If you're doing the art piece in 20 minutes or even an hour, it's probably not a big enough subject, or you're not challenging yourself enough. Feel free, as you're coming up with what you want to do for this, if you want to, you can email me any ideas you have, or if you want to see if it's a good idea for the project, feel free to do that too. But it just walks you through what to do with those. The other option is like we had before, so now I have the comprehensive project list of all the things that we've done before. So you're choosing those. Remember, there's an example of a reflection and a description there. So just to kind of go through quickly, we had make your own paint, and then you would do a painting. We have pet portraits, kind of focusing on getting the details of an animal. Playing in the dirt, trying to work with mud and manipulate it the way you would with clay. You're also trying to create something out of it, so not just leaving it as a lump of clay. Looking at contemporary artists from Art 21. If you have not done this one yet, you could do this. Observational drawing, so drawing what you see, objects. The drawing of lying under the tree and looking up, especially with the weather changing, it might look very different than what you've seen before. This is writing a letter to somebody and kind of illustrating it in an artistic way. Surreal spoon portraits. I don't think I assigned this to all of you, but it's basically looking inside of a spoon at yourself. It distorts you and then drawing what you see. And there's a great link here to a video that you can watch that will help you kind of drawing a spoon and the details. The found object color wheel. Remaking a famous artwork. So doing some things. And actually with this one, there's a Getty Museum challenge out there. So you could actually do it for this class, but you could also submit it to the Getty Museum, and that could be really neat. Sculpture using cardboard around your house. Making a map. Remember, it's an artistic depiction of your daily routes. Quarantine things, so photography, using things that are around you during quarantine, the things that you've been eating, the things that you experience. Making your own clay. Just a reminder, if you do choose the salt dough option, it is dangerous for dogs. They might try to eat it, so be careful. Using photography to find alphabets outside or in your house. You could also do your name. Transforming everyday objects into art, so kind of looking at the things that you use on a daily basis or that you have a lot of and then turning them into art pieces. Digital hand-built sculpture. Digital wheel throwing, Zooms where you can check out artwork around the world, virtual museum tours, and then also transforming nature. This is Andy Goldsworthy's work. He does a lot with nature, kind of putting together things in the outside to make something beautiful. This is one that wasn't assigned to all of you either, but this would be kind of coming up with some fashion or some jewelry wearable art. And putting that into sketches. So if you do this one, it's a full page of sketches. You can write notes, you can have multiple angles, but it's something that's really creative and out there and artistic in your sketches. And then quote inspirations. So you could use any of the quotes to the side here, or you could create your own quote or use a favorite one and illustrate it. So those are your options. Remember, you've got 2 weeks of assignments left for me, and then you've got that revision time. The 2 weeks can come from these prompts, or you can submit during week 1 your individual idea that you want to pursue for the 2 weeks. Thanks, guys. Look forward to hearing from you and seeing your art.